Exciting.
It is exciting.
You got to be on Drawfee, which was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was shocking.
Yeah.
It was one of these where things just happen in like an order. There's like a very obvious like kind of one thing leading to another. And the first thing kicking off might be Louis Zong's Mabimbam animatic, the ice cream song one. That got me into Mabimbam, which I then started animating. And then all of the comments were like, oh, you should animate Drawfee. And then I think they were fans of Mabimbam as well, so they'd already seen it. And then, yeah, it just kind of happened.
Louis Zong's the starter of all things.
The animator genesis.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, I've taken inspiration from the My Brother and Me animatics, but also obviously you as well. And I was like, if I just like put these two things together, I had no idea that you are also inspired by the Louis Zong animatics as well. So it's like,
yeah, it's a perfect intersection. It was one of these where I kind of, as soon as I saw them, I think the first one I saw was is it like the Bazonky Donk one? And I remember seeing that and being like, oh my god, Louis Zong's doing like, oh my god, it's not Louis Zong, that's so much better. It's so like, it's so cool.
Yeah, I wonder if Louis Zong watches Drawfee.
I feel like he must have seen it. Like, it's the same
he must
corner
have stumbled
of the
upon
internet.
it. Yeah. How long have you been working on Deep Space Discounts? Because I'm assuming you basically had all of it done before you like published them, because you like posted them like weekly.
Yeah, which was maybe a mistake in retrospect. So I worked on Deep Space Discounts for about 14 months, just over a year. But I was still making edits to the final episode the morning of it being released, because I have poor planning skills.
Hell yeah. That's so
I wouldn't recommend that, but also it's a good way of motivating you to actually work faster.
I mean, what else are you going to be doing on the build-up to the final episodes, if not like tinkering with them a little longer before they're released?
Yeah, it was one of these where I think, what was it? It was the music I hadn't quite like figured out, because I didn't really know kind of if I was going to be able to reuse a load of music from previous episodes, and I tried it. And it didn't sound right, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to write more music.
Wait, so you made the music for Deep Space Discounts too?
Yeah.
Wow! That's so cool!
Yeah, thank you. It's not something I'm like super confident with, but I've always liked kind of messing about with whatever version of Bandcamp I'm using at the time.
I'm fortunate enough that I have a friend who majors in music, so I don't have to worry about music on my end.
Yeah, I mean, that must be so cool, having such like a rich pool of like creative people just kind of all around you.
I think that's like the best part of CalArts, and like kind of the reason why I decided to do it, to make like a show, because I was like, well, I'm already in this place, and this is the only time I can get people to make a cool thing for free before I have to like pay them.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these where it's shocking to see how well it's produced and written as well, and voice acted. Like, I think it is one of Dreamcatchers is such like a rich kind of it's just proof that like, I don't want to say you don't need money, because that's not true, but like proof that like, even if you think of yourself as like new to like the industry, or new to like working, I guess, I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but like anyone can like just fucking do it, just start making a thing.
I feel like that's like the most exciting part of indie animation. I mean, I know you made Deep Space Discounts pretty much on your own, but was there anyone that you like bounced it off of, or was like, hey, can you look at this to make sure I'm not going insane? Because I know that's like important.
Yes, that was very real. So all the people that I put in the credits as like special thanks were people that I did that with. The main one was my wife, my now wife, who I married a few months ago, so at the time fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, bless her, she's seen every stage of it 20 times and is probably sick of it. It's very good of her to be still on board with it. And then Mythical Water, who's another animator who's done some Drawfee bits.
Oh yeah.
They saw quite a lot of it, and they saw it as early as the kind of storyboarding process as well. I think like the kind of scripting side of it, I did it all on kind of prompted, other than again my lovely wife. But no, when it was a storyboard, I know Mythical saw it. I think Bug Hunter and Narcissist Cookbook, two musicians who I've worked with in the past and still work with and are good friends with. They saw it as well.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, and Michael Freitag, who again, just a close friend and previous client, I guess. Who's got a amazing podcast, D&D actual play show, and he's an amazing storyteller and musician as well. So again, very useful opinion to have on board. But yeah, no, other than that, I mean, I say other than that, that's still a good pull, but other than that, it was unseen until what, like 2 months ago? So yeah, very scary.
That's so cool. Yeah. But it's been super well received. I mean, I've seen like fan art and like really positive comments, and like everyone, I mean, that, I feel like that's like the coolest part of it all, or one of the coolest parts of it all. It's just like, wow, not only is it a thing that I've made that feels really cool, but like strangers on the internet will perceive it.
Yeah, definitely that. I think, are you on Tumblr?
I am not, but I should be. I feel like
my God.
That's where that's like the good part of the internet, from what I hear.
That is certainly where Deep Space Discounts has thrived. It is a shocking amount of fan art. It was one of these where, I don't know if this is like really conceited, but I did definitely have the goal in mind when I made this show of like, I really hope there's like fan art of it. And then it was one of these where I didn't have any like plans to try and like make it happen, but I was thinking like, God, just wouldn't that be the coolest thing? And I mean, Mythical Water made fan art of it before it even aired, so that was very sweet. But no, Tumblr, there's been an endless stream of fan art for the last few months. There's been cosplays, there's been it's on AO3, there's 2 pages of fanfic now, there's like 40 different entries. So yeah, it's amazing, and it's very validating, I will say.
Oh my gosh, cosplays! That's so
I know.
Cool. Wow.
That one fucking shocked me. That one sent me for a loop. But
I mean, it's great that you have humanoid characters. I have no idea how the hell anyone's gonna cosplay Dreamcatchers.
Big box on head.
Yeah, it's so cool. Have you like read any like fan theories for Deep Space, or like indulged yourself with just seeing like people predicting how the plot's gonna go and stuff?
I have, yeah. I'll admit, I'm my own biggest fan. I'll read anything. I'll Google Deep Space Discounts as much as I can to see this kind of thing. There's a few theories that I like actively know are wrong, but don't want to like kind of discredit.
Yeah.
I enjoy people's headcanons a lot, but there's a lot of them where I'm like, well, this wasn't what I meant, but good for you. That is nice. Like, I do like it. There's an element of, it's obviously so important to like your own work and be really proud of everything you do. And there's also another part of me that's like, you have to presume no one's gonna watch anything you do, else you're gonna like spend so long trying to like make it appealing and like show it off to everyone. Again, maybe not the best attitude to have. I wouldn't take that as advice. Anyone watching it for yourself, but
you heard it here, folks.
Pretend everyone hates you. It's the best attitude to have.
Man, I'm realizing how hard it is to draw and talk at the same time. Like, you mentioned it in the email, and I was like, how hard could it be?
I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I haven't done it for a while, but I used to stream, and I think that has helped my ability to do that a lot. But even when I was streaming, it was, I was animating at the time, not really drawing. And that, for me, are 2 very different things. That's probably not true for most people, but for me, animating with Toon Boom is very much, playing with the rigs and the puppets more than it is, using the draw part of my brain, I guess.
No, yeah. I don't know how Drawfee does it. I don't know. They've they've done it for years. They've perfected the art of drawing and talking at the same time, and I took it for granted. I just realized does Kip have a flower on his head?
He does, yeah.
Is that a little flower? Is he like a plant boy?
Yeah, he's a cactus.
Oh! Wait, how did I not realize that?
I know.
He's got stubble. Oh!
Yeah, he's got little needles.
That's so cute. That's why he's so prickly.
Yeah, he is prickly by nature. Yeah. Oh, I saw someone. I just did a. I guess I'll announce this in case this goes up before I actually announce it properly. I just did a cast watch party with 5 of the voice actors. So it was Brian, David Gilbert. We're trying to get out of the habit of using him by full name like that because I said that to his face.
I feel like you have to. Like, with a name like Brian David Gilbert, it's like you should expect it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, so Brian David Gilbert. I mean, Brian. Fuck, I forgot what names are. Yeah, no, we did a cast watch party, and it was everyone except for Capitano and Aaron Hansen who weren't available. And Jenny pointed out that there was a comment saying that because there's like a background gag of an orb that gives you a mustache and amnesia.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and one of the comments was like, I'm going to use this in my D&D campaign, and I really like the idea of trying to like introduce that and work that into a group.
That'd be so much work, but it'd be so fun.
I mean, Dreamcatchers would make for a great one shot, really.
I don't know, man. I feel like the world, maybe it's just because I'm behind the scenes, but I'm like, the world has, like, there's not enough rules. There's not enough of it.
Oh, that's
I don't
perfect.
know what it
exactly.
means.
No rules is perfect for D&D, I would have thought. I've not played it for decades, but yeah.
I remember now that, like, yeah, Brian David Gilbert is on the show.
Yeah. That is crazy. I'm still not really over that.
The man has been on Fiona and Cake.
I know. That's the thing. I kind of when I was casting the show, I obviously like knew who Brian David Gilbert was. He was one of the only people. Him and Barrett were the only ones that I kind of reached out to directly and asked them if they'd be in the show. Everyone else kind of auditioned, which again, shocking, really. But I remember kind of going onto the call with Brian and thinking, right, try and act like a director, try and act like a professional, like a real person, and don't like go in and go like, I love everything you've done.
I'm a really big fan.
I'm so obsessed with Hugh Brantity. Can you do a Hugh Brantity joke for me?
How has it been working with like merchandising and stuff? Because we on Dreamcatchers have not done anything with merchandising. Like we just made like 50 stickers, and they're still in my room.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's just myself and obviously this makeshift thing that's happening at the minute, which is very exciting. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been really rewarding. I don't want to say just monetarily, but very much monetarily. It's been very kind to see how much people have got behind all of the merch.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I had a couple of ideas for merch, and then I've kind of come up with more interesting ones, I think, since the show's actually been out and I've seen people are buying it. But yeah, no, it's fun. I'd recommend it, definitely, especially as an indie show. I think get as much kind of backing as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of making money for the indie show, it's kind of hard to tell which has been the best thing for Deep Space discounts, but I'm lucky enough that the makeshift plush has done very well, and at the moment, without the second campaign, we've sold just over 800 plushes.
Whoa!
Which is absolutely insane. It's unbelievable, and that's going to have basically I think that's made enough money, and no one come for me if I change my mind on this, but that's made enough money that I'm not going to do a Kickstarter anymore. That was always kind of part of the plan, that, you know, if I needed money to make more, then I was going to do a Kickstarter, but it's done well enough that I don't think it's 100%.
That's so awesome. Oh my gosh.
It's very humbling. It's so yeah, it's very difficult to kind of get my head around. So that's done very well. But then at the same time, a huge amount of people jumped on my Patreon on the back of Deep Space discounts. So, you know, it depends if those people stay. I don't know if people are going to slowly realize that, you know, there aren't going to be more episodes for a while and just, you know, slowly jump off, and that's fine if they do. But yeah, having I will say as well for this, and I can't remember, does Dreamcatchers have a Patreon?
No, I have a Patreon, but I keep that separate.
Yeah, I would say for anyone setting up a Patreon, what I did and I'd recommend is making sure there's like a $1 tier. There's like a bit of advice when you set up the Patreon that like Patreon gives you, and it says make the lowest tier at least $2 because there's like a certain fee that we'll take and it makes more sense. And I've done the maths, it doesn't make more sense. I think they will obviously get a bit more money, but it's so and again, this is business advice now. I don't want to sound too clinical and like
no. I mean, I think it's important. I feel like the business part of indie animation is like way too undermined for how important it is.
Yeah, having like the ability to make Patreon posts and say, "Hey, you can see this early on Patreon," and it's only $1 is such a like important like bit of marketing to like, because you know, I mean, I've got the numbers somewhere, but about half of the people who support me on Patreon are on that $1 tier. But that means that even though there's no extra benefits, half of the people have chosen to pay more than the minimum anyway. And I think just being able to like kind of get people onto your Patreon first is so important. I would definitely recommend having cheap Patreons and just kind of trusting that people will be generous. Which I'm surprised about, but they are.
Do you do anything outside of YouTube, or is it YouTube mostly for like? No, this is full time now. I'm very lucky to say it is. It's again, I'm so grateful to. It's mainly well, it's not mainly Patreon, but Patreon's pretty much the reason why I can do it full time. But that, and then obviously YouTube and merch to some extent. It's why I can, you know, work on Deep Space discounts. I nearly said Dreamcatchers. It's why I can work on Deep Space discounts, you know, so much of the year. It's great. Yeah, because I think everyone's been talking about, like, I feel like saying the state of the industry is like already like a gross word. Like I hear it everywhere and I'm like, get away from me.
Yeah, I get it.
But like it's definitely a time where people are like, oh, you should start doing your own thing, which is easier said than done. But it's like, it's super cool that like you get to be your own boss. Essentially.
It is very cool. And yeah, definitely something that kind of, I mean, I've never had a studio job. I've never I didn't do an arts degree or an animation degree or anything. I did a business degree and it was just animating as a hobby. And it's one of these where at first the kind of idea was that I would do, you know, kind of small commissions and YouTube and make enough money to basically practice animating, and kind of in that time I was practicing, I would get good enough to get a studio job, and that was kind of always the goal that I was, you know, working harder and harder, thinking like eventually I'll be good enough to get a freelance job. And then, you know, maybe it's spending too much time on social media, but the more and more I went on, the less appealing that seemed as a dream, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just keep doing this. and luckily I can. You know, that's basically no understanding of the industry, so don't take that as good advice. But
everyone should jump the ship right now.
Fuck studios. Absolutely no, under no circumstances should you work. No, I shouldn't be saying this.
Official DeepBlueInk caught on camera. But yeah, I think it's cool that like it's just like another path for people to take.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
You know, there's still like, you can still see a really slow path that I took. Like, it wasn't kind of an immediate overnight suddenly I was like making money. You know, it's a real path that I think a lot of artists can, you know, pursue. I'm not saying everyone can do it. Like I say, there's still luck involved, but if you try and kind of buy enough, lottery tickets, as it were. It's doable, which is very, like you say, it's very nice to see that there's multiple ways in to an arts job.
What's your personal like favorite part of your own show?
I think there was definitely points in like the last year where I kind of thought, I was doubting how good it was, and I thought, I wonder if like this is worth making, and especially in the writing process, it's so easy at that point to then turn around and say, well, it's not too late to just stop making this and say like, well, this is enough. This was a good shot. I'll try again next time. But I think when I wrote episode 4, which is the very like, it's when Emmy and V go into a fridge and just talk, and it's a very like somber but also feelingsy episode. Having that one line, pretty much, I think it's almost the last line of the episode, which is V saying, "I don't need breaks from you." I remember writing that and thinking like, oh shit, I should probably finish this. That's really good.
You knew that was like, a genius line.
It was like, yeah, this might make the whole show worth watching, I think, even if like, you don't like the rest of it. This is pretty good.
I remember that very moment when that showed up. I like squealed out loud. I was like, it's happening.
Especially like, growing up watching things like Adventure Time and Steven Universe, where any kind of queer representation was left until the very last moment, until they didn't care if they got cancelled. I think it's quite a nice. I think if I saw any comments in that episode that were like, they're clearly just friends, I'd be tempted to delete it and be like, not in my comment section. This is wrong.
Yeah, I remember like one of the other motivations to make Drawfee Animatics is also like, I was like, if I could just like steal their audience, like if I could just like nab them, 100%. Take a chunk out of them.
That's another bit of advice I'd give to up and coming artists. Like, as much as
fan art.
It's one of these where obviously I'll say, make sure you're paid for your work, but at the same time, animating or making fan art is, a real way of getting an audience. Don't completely dismiss it as like, it's working for free, it's evil. It is, but it also isn't, be mindful, I guess. Yeah, I talked about this in the call with the cast the other day, but every single character rig on any of my animations are originally Griffin McElroy. Like, I made one decent character rig about 4 years ago from a bit that I'm animated, and then since then I've just been editing like copies of that one template.
I've also been reusing some rigs on my end. Like, no one's gonna tell. All the human characters are the same. As long as they got arms, legs, and a head. It's all that matters.
That's the thing, like, I probably should have gone more like that's the one thing I kind of regret with these discounts. I should have maybe gone for more interesting alien designs. Like, they are very much human looking, I would say. But God, it made my life a lot easier, so I don't regret it.
Yeah. Also, they've got a distinct enough thing going on for each of them.
They're all aliens, you can tell that at least.
Very cool. Oh yeah, also, on like the most recent news, congratulations on the Toon Boom ambassador thing. I just saw that.
Yeah, that's very recent news. That's, I learned about it a couple of days ago, and then I got like the promotional material. I'm trying not to be humble about cool things, but it's difficult.
It's terrible, it's lame,
it's whatever in it, it's fine, I guess. No, I'm really excited about it.
I feel like one of the biggest things I've learned from like being an adult in animation now, it's like, wow, you can really just like email people.
Yeah.
Like,
and you should.
You just email people and they'll look at it, like what I did with you.
Yeah,
literally.
No, God, yeah. I mean, I think even though like the Drawfee folks were kind of interacting with me on Twitter at the time when we used that cursed site, it was still like that wretched hole of a website. It was one of these where I just kind of sent, I think, a DM to maybe Nathan or someone. I just said like, hey, if you'd maybe like me on an episode, I'd love to do that. And they said, yeah, great. And I was like, oh fuck.
Oh no, it actually worked.
I can't believe it. So yeah, definitely shoot your shot where you can. It's worth doing.
So yeah, everyone watching this, email DeepBlueInk right now.
Well, we'll put my email in the description.
Spam his email. I'll show it on the screen right now.
Hell yeah! No, it's genuine advice. Ask people to talk to you.
Yeah, I would not touch Toon Boom for the longest time, because I was just so intimidated. I wanted to do my like CalArts film this year on Toon Boom, and then I was like, no. I'm an Adobe Animate person and a Blender person.
Yeah.
I feel like ashamed saying Adobe Animate because I'm like, Adobe Animate's such a garbage software. And anyone who works on it like acknowledges that it's a garbage software.
Yeah. I've never used it. I'm lucky enough that I basically went straight from free software, OpenToon, straight into Toon Boom, and there wasn't a huge kind of jump. They were both, rigged animations and, kind of puppet stuff.
God, those nodes are terrifying to me. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I did teach myself Toon Boom very slowly. It's one of these where you kind of start, with what you've got, and you just kind of slowly build up. I mean, I did. Yeah. Obviously, I started off a little bit cheaper with Toon Boom Essentials first, and then like used the 3-month trial on that, and then whatever it was after that. I've decided I don't like this.
Have you ever dabbled in Blender?
Yeah, not very long. I'm so intimidated by the cube. It's not great for me. But yeah, no, I definitely have. There's a drawing animated I did, which was Julia Learns Blender. And that I learned Blender to make. That was difficult. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's one of these where I don't think I'll go back to it much anymore. I don't think 3D animations for me. I love looking at it. Yeah. Like, it's obviously
you're not gonna make a DeepBlueInk 3D animation.
I mean, I've said it before. I'll never say never, but I don't plan on it. I know a node that will like make this look really cool. This is how I fucking work with Toon Boom. I'm like, I know a node for this
somewhere. Put it on a shirt or a mug.
There's a node for this. Mug.
This is my prized possession. I have the Drawfee mug.
Oh hell yeah, so have I. I'll show it when I turn the camera back on, but that's next to me as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna cheat it. Because I want to create like the little kind of like...
Cheating in animation. How devilish.
Yeah. Finished, I think.
Yeah!
Hell yeah. Oh fuck, they look so good. Oh, I love their little faces. Oh my god. Oh,
yeah.
Kip's getting fucked up.
Oh yeah, as usual, I guess.
Hell yeah. I already like lose my shit anytime I see extra fan art. So seeing it like made in person by an artist that I already love, this is great.
Made live, hot from the press. But yeah, thank you so much with talking with me and meeting with me.
No
worries.
worries.
It was such a fun time just having like a conversation with you while drawing.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone remember, what was the bad advice I gave?
What was the bad advice?
Never go for an industry job. Ignore all studios. If you're offered a job by any professional in just
Disney
animation studio,
you to work with them, decline.
Remember, swear at them forcefully. Tell them to do one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Anyway, thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've not said that yet. Everyone watch Dreamcatchers.
Yeah, everyone watch Dreamcatchers. Everyone watch Deep Space Discounts. Watch them at the same time. Put them on 2 monitors and just have them
they'll
play.
learn about the secret message that we put in both of the shows.
When you play them both at the same time, it actually like...
You'll learn the secret identity of Stowaway.
Oh! No, yeah, it's super cool stuff. Is there anything else you want to plug in apart from Deep Space Discounts?
Nah, I don't think so. I think I'll be plugging that for a while. I was going to say I'm on all the social medias, but not Twitter anymore. So I'm on Blue Sky. Yeah. No Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Tumblr. Tumblr is a great way, a great place to exist. I would recommend it.
Yeah. I might just get a Tumblr now because of that. I might hop on board.
Yeah, and then in terms of animations, it's all uploaded on YouTube. So follow me there if you would like to.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to plug on your own channel?
I mean, it should be on my own thing, but I guess like if you want Patreon, I have that. And Dreamcatchers.
I'll say it. Like and subscribe.
Oh, he said the thing. He said it.
Ring the bell.
You guys heard it, guys. DeepBlueInk. He said to subscribe to me.
Use your finite amount of subscriptions wisely.
You can only subscribe to one of us. You gotta pick very wisely.
It's a zero-sum game. Everyone knows that.
Oh yeah. Amazing. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah.